Vi ser jo sånn, tenker vi. Hei, og velkommen til en ny dag, en ny stream. Det er dagen etterpå, det er tirsdag. Og jeg har faktisk bursdag. Det er ikke bare noe tull. Ja, der kom den, ja. Men der også, ja. Skal vi se, ja. Det er basically det. Vi er, som sagt til bursdag, vi skal basically fortsette rett på Horizon der vi var i går. Jeg kan egentlig bare gjøre sånn med en gang. Der kom den der, ja. Da var det greit der. Alt fungerte der. Alt fungerte der. Jeg kom egentlig litt senere enn jeg ville i dag, fordi når jeg startet PC-en etter at jeg hadde spist og sånn, og så skulle jeg oppdatere OBS. Og det kom en oppdatering når jeg startet OBS. Og som regel så er det jo som regel noe, jeg vet ikke, bugg. Det er et eller annet smågreier som regel. Men jeg følte ikke så nøye med, så det var jo helt, han gikk fra versjon 27 til 28. Nå er jeg 28.0.1. Og den så litt annerledes ut og sånn, og så når jeg installerte den og startet med nytt, så fungerte ikke streamdekkene gitt. Og det er litt sånn irriterende, for det er liksom blitt vant til å bruke. At jeg slipper å bruke mus og liksom, at det går fort. Jeg liksom bytter imellom da. Det er litt dritt, men etter søker på Google og YouTube, så fikk jeg til å fungere. Så da skal det også fungere som alt jeg har gjort. Det ser i hvert fall ut som det gjør det nå. Det hadde jeg glemt. Det var en ting jeg hadde glemt, for jeg skal ikke. Jeg må ha noe over den. Jeg orker ikke se på meg selv, eller spille der, og så ha meg selv på siden der. Det holder bare at jeg ser meg selv, eller ser. Og jeg sjekker som egentlig med i forhold til med chatten og sånn, så hvis det skjer noe, så skal jeg få det med meg. Så da er jo det greit. Sånn, nå har jeg fått opp den. At den fungerer. Ok, det har jeg ikke testet, men det skal fungere, så da er det greit. Skal vi se. Ja, jeg tenker vi egentlig bare kjører på, ja. Det er vel egentlig ikke noe annet å gjøre. Ok, den var ille høy i headsetet mitt. Tror ikke han var så høy der. Ja, men jeg mener jeg stoppet den uansett der. Tror jeg gjorde. Og det. Jeg gjorde absolutt ingenting i går etter jeg var ferdig. Eller jeg søkte på i forhold til med våpene, liksom. Jeg søkte jo egentlig tips and tricks. No spoilers søkte jeg egentlig på. Så var liksom, i forhold til historien, så er det 2 sånne special legendary ting jeg ikke har fått. Skal vi se om jeg finner. Jo, special gear. Det er noen ting jeg ikke har fått der, men det må jeg fullføre, komme lenger på historien. Og så var det ganske lønnsomt også å fokusere på dem der. Og så var det, men det var det her, tror jeg. Og så den her. Ja, så jeg så vel noe jeg ikke skulle ha sett, tror jeg. Men det la jo være. Så jeg har basically ikke gjort noen ting, ja. Nei. Og nå tror jeg, i forhold til når jeg oppgraderte den, det var lurt å oppgradere våpen og armor fullt. Nå har jeg for så vidt ikke gjort det på den her. Fordi det er noe jeg mankerer, ikke sant? Skal vi se hvor er. Ja, for det her var bare, den var fortsatt høy i dag, synes jeg. Ja, men jeg har jo fullt. Så jeg må opp, tror jeg. Nei, hit måtte jeg. Ja, for jeg manker jo gode ting. Ja, det å lære deg liksom at du luter mest mulig da, selv om sånn som jeg har så mye tre og mye bær og sånt, så det er bare egentlig kjøre på. For jo lenger ut du kommer, hvor mer er det nyttig, ikke sant? Enn jeg gjorde det i første Rise nå. Luta hele tiden, uansett. Ja, for jeg har den. Ok, så jeg er ikke nok der. Og så er det lurt å skyte av ting på maskinene da. Før jeg dreper dem. For jeg tenker som kan brukes, ikke sant? Jeg har lyst til å lage sånn. Ja, der, ok, sånn gjorde det faktisk det. Ok, men det er jo greit. Det er sånn at jeg må ta den lange også, vet du. Ja, men da har jeg i hvert fall laget den da, sånn at hvis jeg går forbi, så får jeg gjort det. Jeg tenker vi kjører på med den mission derfor vi er her. Og da er det egentlig bare å gå opp. Jump. Okay.
Nervous?
Bringing an outlander before the chorus.
It'll be worth it, Zoe. You'll
Der,
see.
okay. Ok, for når du kan gjøre sånn.
This easy?
Aha.
All these people gathered. Reminds me of Mother's heart back in the north.
Ja, for det her kjøpte jeg en drakt i går, ikke så armoren i går.
Or a sacred lance. Everyone would crowd around to hear what the matriarchs had to say.
You must miss home.
A little.
Ja, ok. Mid var den...
They have to break sometime, don't they?
So long as there's disharmony. So the
Ah,
song just keeps going. I guess that means the chorus is still in session?
The people sing to soothe the chorus, to help them break their impasse. It wouldn't be necessary if they were in harmony.
I'm not gonna have to sing back, am I?
Of course not. The singing will stop when we present ourselves. Are you ready?
Ja.
All right, let's go talk to them.
Jeg skulle ønske det var en sånn optional greie at du kunne fjerne maska sånn som du kan i Valhalla for eksempel. Jeg kan ikke si jeg likte den maska så mye. Men da hadde sikkert armen ikke vært så bra, så jeg skjønner jo hvorfor da.
Speak.
Your sacred cave. There's something inside I need. And if I can get it, it will help.
and the Nora have spread word of your story, and what you want. We know of no spirit in the cave, only Fa, our land god, who entered the cave and did not return.
The power of the land gods is broken. We are diminished. Tales of spirits will not help us. Nothing will.
We weaken, we die, and become fertile ground for new life. This is the natural order.
Yes. Wait. You're all just going to sit around until you become food for worms? Literally?
So says the Outlander, ignorant of our beliefs.
Please. Remember how she brought peace to Ray. Listen to her.
We've heard such temerity from you before, Zoe. Let us not forget that you agitated for reckless war against the Kaja.
At least she's trying to help.
How? By inviting you to break our traditions? Should we change our ways to suit every impudent outsider who wanders into Plainsong?
No. You should change your ways because your own lands are killing you.
She has a point.
We have stood by and watched as our land gods waste away. You would have us do the same with our neighbors, our children.
And this lone Outlander can save us. Nonsense. A single seed matters little in the infinite cycle of growth and decay.
An alarm. It's coming from the mountains.
Was that from the cordon?
It's an alarm!
The machines must have broken through the cordon.
Then we need to get down there.
What about the chorus?
If the cordon has fallen, there's nothing left to prevent us from going in the cave. The time for permission is over.
Then off we go.
Og kunne bli glad der nå. Det var altså dritkult ut der, liksom.
Fighting in the fields ahead.
Not much point to using acid here.
De kjemper mot hverandre.
These machines don't look normal.
We've seen these machines before. Hunter killers.
They must have come from the cordon. The others will defend Prince. We have to move. Do you really think we can do something about all this?
Alright, then... yeah.
Ja, vi bare løper rett gjennom, vi.
More machines.
It's on fire!
Look at it burn!
These machines are stronger, deadlier than normal. There's more than just Minerva and a missing land god in that cave.
Jeg vil egentlig hjelpe til å slåss, da. Nei, jeg bommer så mye, så kan jeg liksom ikke la være.
This trail is the path of the land gods. It'll lead us to the cordon. More machines!
We can take them out, Aloy. On your lead.
This is fun.
Nei, 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 nei. Åh, shit. Ja, ok. Du skal drepe meg så lett, ja. Jeg tror jeg skulle i hvert fall få kjøre til litt med den der da, men... Eller jeg tok jo igjen.
More machines!
We can take them out, Aloy. On your lead.
Now this will do some damage.
Oh.
Won't get me that.
I will fight for this land! I decide!
Have you never seen Nora warriors before?
You will not be intimidated! Why did you do this?
Åh, shit, hva var det? Nei, men hva er det som skyter meg?
Here's ammo. Be on the hunt.
Now's my chance.
You hit the weak spot!
That's the last one. Now onto the cordon. Let's go.
Right behind.
Hei, level 17. Ah, ok.
This way, Aloy!
Og det så ut som jeg fikk så mye greier, ja.
Machines are everywhere.
Ja.
Well, don't have to worry about running out.
Her er det ble sykt mørkt.
Don't have to worry about its tail if I shoot it off.
We're almost there.
So many machines broke through. What happened to the Cordon's defenders?
We better be ready for anything.
Ok, det der skal ikke jeg ha fortjeneste for dere har bomma på hvert eneste skudd av alle der. Skal vi se, jeg skal bare se, for det var... Den hadde vært fin å ha da. Den var vel fin, tror jeg, men jeg må videre. Vi kjører den der, vi.
Cordon. Or what's left of it.
So many dead.
They will be mourned when the time is right. For now, we must keep going. Into the cave.
Ja, må bare lute litt først, og så ser du... Å, den var mye greier. Så skal jeg inn i cave.
We shouldn't linger here.
And, no, this... Oh, okay.
Aloy, we should head into the cave.
May the land gods forgive our trespass. What is that?
A kind of wall. Made of light. We'll have to find a way around.
We'll follow your lead, Aloy.
Up here! Make an interesting color for my armor.
Den der mener jeg skal hoppe over, liksom. Ja, ok, jeg kunne hoppe.
What's that ahead? Like a cauldron door. To understand what's going on in there, you're gonna need one of these. On the temple. Just like this.
There's blue light on the door.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to.
Don't worry, Zoe. I'll help.
Now listen. The machines we've been fighting, they're different. More dangerous. That means there's something very powerful somewhere beyond that door. And it wants us dead. Follow my lead. And be ready for anything. Let's go. We have to find the core of this place.
Jeg er veldig spent på hvor mange sånne fokuser du egentlig har her nå. Fordi, bare en selv, og så delte du denne kameraten, ikke sant? Og nå, og så knuste du, jeg så at delte eller 4 hittil, liksom. Så jeg er litt spent på... Litt spent på hvor mange hun faktisk har.
There's so much metal.
Who built this place?
Machines. Not like any you've seen before. Machines in here. We'll have to take them out.
Right behind you.
Let's take down this machine!
Ja, du tuller, det er ikke tull at de er mye sterkere. Ja. Men jeg tar halve livet da.
So this is a cauldron, where machines are born.
It looks like one, but... if the land gods come and go, then they aren't just made here. They're being repaired, too.
And the spirit you're after is in here?
Minerva? Maybe, but... I have a feeling that's not all.
Ja, for det var noe veien her da. Jeg føler egentlig vi gikk egentlig feil vei, men...
Those cables are glowing.
I've seen them before. They're like an infection. That thing I said, that wants us dead, it takes over places like these and makes killing machines. It's called Hephaestus.
Even the mountain is rotted to the roots.
Looks like those cables are blocking the way up. You two wait here. I'll find another path.
Okay. What are those panels on the floor? That panel on the floor looks more raised than the others. How are you doing, sir?
Standing on this floor panel activated something. Looks like parts of those pillars are rotating. Maybe if I shoot the gears, I can lock them into place. Make a path up. That worked!
So, can you stand on that panel?
Ok, nå ser man at hun må stå
Good.
der.
Stay there.
Er det ikke den jeg skal treffe? Wow.
That did something.
Det var den, jeg tror det var den der borte.
There. Should be able to climb over that one. More pillars. Might be a way across, if I can get them into the right position. Another floor panel. But I can't shoot the gears on the pillars from here. Maybe if I can find something to weigh this down?
Find a way across, Aloy.
I'm working on it.
This crate should be heavy enough. Can't fit the crate through that opening.
Yeah. It reveals things. Lights, images, glyphs, weaknesses on a machine. No. It's just... well...
Yeah, that's stuck.
Ja, man kan se han gjennom her da, eller?
I think I can get the crate through that shield, but I'll have to go around.
Ja. Den gikk gjennom, men jeg går ikke gjennom.
Gotcha. Okay, getting there. That did it. The gears on the pillars should be exposed now.
Nice shot, Aloy!
There. Should be able to get across now. One more set of pillars. There should be a floor panel nearby to activate them. I'll keep some extra on hand.
So close.
Okay, now I can cross. Festus's cables are all over that node. But maybe I can override it. Got it. The cables are moving.
They're drawing back. We can climb up that vent.
How do we cross?
Cables are twisted around that node on the other side. I'll see if I can get to it.
We'll wait here.
Selvfølgelig vil de det. Det var så greit, jeg har med meg noen. Ok, så jeg skal vet om det er noe rundt her. Det var ikke, tror jeg.
Whoa! That was quite a jump.
Okay, now, how to get up to the node.
Ja, var det bare den som var der? Ok.
Alright, let's see what we can do.
We made it.
Come on over, you two.
Transfer armament to Unit G Mark 1.
Who is that? Hephaestus. It's taken over this whole place.
Activate Gamma Matrix.
Looks like there's another node on the other side, near that door.
Go do your thing.
Philip Blackhand. How to get to that node on the other side?
Unit G Mark 1.
There's still no sign of fog.
It's a big place. We'll keep looking.
Increase by 20%. Engage active distribution J1 Zeta.
High rush of air.
Håper var den eneste veien.
Secondary packages to materials V5 and 12.
Med timer der også.
Load ordnance in units A59 to B24. Execute armament assessment alpha. Cycle auxiliary pipelines. HX.
Those carriers are moving a lot of weapons. What is Hephaestus up to?
Armament assessment complete.
Thoro, above us. She's in the air.
Don't let go, Aloy!
Yep, wasn't planning on it.
Increase incendiary loadout for Unit G Mark 1.
Ride's over. Time to let go. Okay,
Åh,
now what?
ja, for nå blir det å komme seg ned dit, vel?
Gamma Matrix 5.
Ja, nydelig.
There's the note.
Fueling of Unit G Mark 1. Increase throughput by 20%.
Who is Hephaestus? What does it want with this place?
It's taken over facilities before to build deadly machines. But it wasn't always hostile. It used to be part of something good. Something called Gaia.
More of those cables covering that door. Oh no. What has Hephaestus done to her?
Turned it into a weapon. Which sooner or later will be unleashed.
And then, Plainsong. If my people see what it has become, if one of our gods attacks them,
You know what we have to do.
We have to kill it.
Are you ready? We have to get down there.
Før jeg skal bare ta sånn, da er vi egentlig greit. Ja, for noe som er triks liksom å skyte hvis jeg tar dem tinga, ikke sant? Så Ja, den key upgrade resource, ikke sant? Den var gull verdt å ta. Jeg tagger den parten. Ja, den må være fin å ta. Men jeg vil jo gjøre sånn her.
That dome of light. Is it protecting the machine?
Yeah. There should be a node I can override nearby to shut it down. Here we go.
Ja, ok,
I'm
hva...
sorry.
That is my target!
Dæven.
More machines are coming!
We'll take care of him,
Each
Aloy.
hit weakens you more.
Then I'll get the big guy.
Hvis ikke han tar meg først, da.
She's got heavy weapons on its back. If I can detach them, I can use them against it.
Oh my god. Jeg liker ikke flammer. Men hvor dem som skulle ta seg av dem der, da? Oh my god. Der ute. Ok, hvor den skyteren? Ja, du visste at det der måtte skje, vet du.
Warning a machine that nearly killed us?
It's still her god.
I do not grieve for a god or a machine, but because I no longer know what to believe.
Look, so if you want, you can go back home.
Do I still have one? And if so, for how long? Can you really heal our lands? Save my people?
One step at a time. But it starts now.
Destroyer
This time I missed it.
to compensate. Retreat. Nothing is inevitable.
Not bad.
Up we go.
There's more.
Like Aloy said, this is only the beginning.
Ja, men la meg få... Ja, fint. Jeg må få luta... Ting her, jeg ganske sikker på at
Aloy, core. My focus is showing holograms on it.
They look like machines.
There must be overrides. Knowledge on how to tame machines. Let's find out.
Men jeg merker at jeg burde fokusere på armor for det første, og så bedre pil og bue.
I'll put these in my pack. I should probably get those overrides before moving on. They might come in handy.
Sounds like a plan.
Men jeg er veldig spent om jeg fikk dem jeg egentlig ville ha nå. Det er ikke sikkert, altså.
Looks like Hephaestus has been upgrading the security grid on the cauldrons. Some of the data's been corrupted. Not sure I can do much about that right now. And my focus doesn't recognize some of these. Must be machines I haven't seen yet.
Ah,
Got what you need?
Yes.
Let's press onward.
jeg gleder meg sånn det kommer en som at jeg kan ta over noe som flyr.
Greetings, graduates of Cradle 9. Welcome to the regional... Error. Unauthorized access detected.
That doesn't sound good.
Was that the spirit, Minerva?
I don't think so. At least,
I'll keep
not
a lookout.
directly.
Attention. All personnel must vacate the facility. Immediately.
Something doesn't want us here. What exactly was this place?
Seen anything like it before?
No. There. That's our way out.
Error. Unauthorized access. Initiating facility lockdown. Stay out.
What's going on?
Well, at least the emergency lights work.
What just happened?
Minerva's definitely here. And I think it's trying to keep us out. I'll scout ahead, see if there's a way to get us in.
You sure we shouldn't come with you?
Well, yeah, Minerva could be dangerous. Let me make sure it's safe.
Okay.
We'll be right here if you need us.
Okay, I need to find where Minerva's hiding. I should look for a way to access the facility's systems. Locked.
Alert! Restricted access. You are not wanted here.
Nope, sorry. You're not getting rid of me that easily, Minerva. Huh. Might be able to pull that open.
Nu ska jag fast en hjul.
This leads. Dead end. I can feel a draft above. Might be a way out of this shaft.
Men det noe her borte også.
And I'm outside. I need to find a way back into the facility. Close. If I can get Minerva to cooperate, I can merge it with Gaia. Finally bring her back. Then we can start fixing the blight, the storms, and maybe she can help me figure out who those strangers in the proving lab were.
Ja.
Why did they have a clone of Elizabeth? Why did they want it back up? Pipes up there. Might lead me to a way back in. But how to reach them? Another shaft. Okay, now I've got to find a way to plug into this place. Looks like some kind of dome. Wonder what it's for.
Alert! System core penetrated.
Minerva, I need the console. Please.
Access denied.
It didn't used to be like this. Do you remember it? Anything? You were part of something bigger once. Something good. Gaia. That's right. She can live again. But only if you give her the chance. I can't reboot her without you.
Light. Cease.
I think you'll disappear into her. Become part of her. Like you used to be.
Misery will cease.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Minerva. Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Restoring Minerva function to original code. Do you wish to initiate heuristic matrix?
Here goes.
Greetings, Dr. Sobek. A moment. Scanning data. So it is Aloy, not Elizabeth. We have much to discuss. But initialization of my heuristic matrix will not be complete for several minutes more. In the meantime, I suggest you familiarize yourself with this facility. It is our best option for a base of operations, and you can make use of its equipment to improve your ability to override machines.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good.
Shall I grant access to your companions? They will be here shortly.
Okay, but don't overwhelm them, okay? They don't have a lot of experience with things like, well, you.
So no fake this time?
No. This time she's real. Varl, Zoe. This is Gaia.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Gaia's still, waking up. Let's look around.
I will highlight the location of the lab on your focus. I have established a network between your focuses, allowing you to communicate when apart.
Good. So what was this place?
A regional control center, where Zero Dawn progeny would have overseen terraforming operations in the area.
Ja, skal du ikke fortsette å breke?
What's all this?
This was intended as the main gathering space for control center operatives.
You could fit a good number of people in here.
Or maybe just a few. To start with, you two go ahead.
So this was supposed to be a lab.
That was its intended purpose. Some of the machine data you recovered from the repair bay below us appears to be corrupted. Accessing the terminal in this room will show you how to repair and complete the override.
I'll take a look.
Men jeg har jo ikke nok.
Huh. Looks like I need data from machine parts to fix the corrupted override.
My initialization is complete. You may continue to explore the facility, Aloy. When you are ready, return to the control room. We have much to discuss.
Okay, da må jeg jo sjekke ut litt.
Looks like an office.
Correct. The facility was designed with a number of private offices.
I guess it's nice to have a space to call your own.
This would have been an access point for advanced training modules on terraforming operations. Unfortunately, those modules were deleted when the Apollo database was destroyed.
That's too bad. What's this space for?
This would have been the sleeping quarters for control center operatives.
Reminds me of the bedhouse aspirants had to sleep in the night before the proving.
Hey, Gaia? Why doesn't this door have power?
At my current operating level, I am only able to restore functionality to part of this facility. In time, that may change.
Okay.
Got it. Looks like another office.
If no one's ever been here, who built all this?
Gaia did. With the help of machines. So this place was here all this time. Built for people who would never show up.
Why didn't they?
Remember that guy I told you about? Ted Farrow? He sabotaged things. It wasn't supposed to be this way.
Det er åpenbart at det er mye jeg kan... Ja, discover and complete cauldrons, ja, to reveal, ja. Så det er mye, så det er egentlig bare å ta sånne cauldrons, da, at jeg finner... en som kan fly. Ja, skal vi se, men jeg trengte ikke gjøre en til...
That door leads to the west exit. But before you leave, we have much to discuss.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Maybe it's time to talk to Gaia.
I'll leave you to it.
Hello, Aloy.
Hi. So you're... ready?
Yes. Initialization is complete. All tests show that my heuristic matrix launched correctly and is stable. You must have many questions.
Yeah. But two big ones first. We're not gonna be able to fix the biosphere without making you whole. I ran a search for your subfunctions at the Hades Proving Lab, but Minerva was the only one I found.
Thankfully, the sensory capability...
Nei, jeg måtte bare ta den. Så skal vi være i gang igjen. Jeg liker ikke... selv om jeg skjønner når liksom visse folk ringer sånn, det er for så greit. Jeg liker fortsatt ikke når det er midt i en cutscene. Det likte jeg ikke. Men sånn er det. Men da, vi bare fortsetter vi.
These of this facility are far more advanced. I will search for the others now. Transmitting query pattern. Receiving. Of Apollo, Artemis, and Eleuthia, I can find no trace. They are simply gone.
What about the others?
Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon are revealed. They lie within reach. Procurable.
And Hephaestus?
It too stands revealed, but it is not like the others.
That's for sure.
In the years since the Extinction Signal, Hephaestus has evolved. Moreover, it is not confined to a single location. It haunts the global network that connects cauldrons to each other across the planet, making it exceptionally difficult to subdue.
Let me guess. We need it bad?
Correct. Its capabilities are essential. Without it, I can only delay the extinction of life on Earth. Hephaestus is our only hope of a permanent solution.
So we start there?
Unfortunately, we cannot. Procuring Hephaestus can only be attempted after my own capabilities have been significantly enhanced.
Grab the other subordinate functions first, then Hephaestus.
Precisely so.
So, Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon. How do I capture them?
To recover a subordinate function, you will have to travel to its location and find the physical processor to which it escaped. Then, exactly as you did with Minerva, you must use the master override to revert the subordinate function to its original code state.
And then how do I get it back here?
The subordinate function must be loaded onto a data storage device and physically carried back to this facility.
The cartridge your root kernel was stored on?
Yes. Its capacity is limited, so it can only carry one subordinate function at a time. But in all other respects, it will suffice.
Maybe you can help me make sense of something. A while ago, I had a run-in with a group of strangers who tried to kill me. They had machine servitors and a clone of Elizabeth Sobek with them.
Yes, this was recorded by your focus.
Do you know who they are?
The answer to that question is related to the extinction signal that woke Hades, prompting my predecessor's self-destruction.
The extinction signal? Okay, that sounds ominous.
The signal did not come from Earth, Aloy. The calculations are complicated, but it appears to have originated 81 trillion kilometers away. A distance so vast that light itself requires 8.611 years to cross it.
Okay, so what's so far away and why does it want us dead?
The Sirius star system.
Sirius? But that's where Far Zenith, their ship.
The Odyssey.
Yes, that's where it was headed. But it blew up. Unless... I don't... Why make it seem like they failed? They didn't want anyone to know. They didn't want future humans to think that they were out there. Wait. The strangers who tried to kill me at the Hades Proving Lab? The ones with the clone? Are you saying that they're from... That they're descendants of... Far Zenith?
Yes, that is my conclusion.
The 3 subordinate functions that you detected. What do we know about them?
All 3 are relevant to problems currently plaguing the biosphere. Ether is responsible for detoxifying the atmosphere and moderating the weather. Poseidon controls the organic and chemical composition of water resources. Demeter sows, fertilizes, and tends to plant life. If all 3 were restored to me, they would constitute a massive increase to my heuristic processing density. But beware. Their responses to my query pattern were irregular. In human terms, they are frightened, lost, and paranoid.
Like Minerva. They need to be whole again.
Exactly.
The missing subordinate functions. What can you tell me about them?
Artemis rewilded the Earth with a variety of animal species. Eleuthia was responsible for gestating, nurturing, and acculturating a new generation of human beings. Apollo was tasked with preserving, organizing, and disseminating vast archives of human knowledge and cultural achievements. Unfortunately, all archived Apollo data was purged on the 2nd of February, 2066, by order of Ted Faro.
Faro, huh? I really hate that guy.
Understandable. He appears to have been pathologically narcissistic, impulsive, and unstable.
All 3 of the missing functions have already served their purpose, or were prevented from doing so. Do you still need them?
If attainable, yes. Restoring their remaining elements would increase my heuristic processing density. Unfortunately, I have no way to track them. They have disappeared without a trace.
You said you need Hephaestus to save life from extinction. Why?
Every subordinate function has value, but Hephaestus is by far the most important. Only by recovering and merging it can I regain my ability to design and mass-produce new machines at cauldrons across the planet. Only through it can I program new machines and alter the tasking of existing machines to completely reverse environmental damage. Recovering other subordinate functions may buy us time, but without Hephaestus, I cannot permanently stave off mass extinction.
Given Hephaestus's importance, is there really no way to capture and merge it first?
I'm afraid that is quite impossible. In my present state, launched and merged with Minerva, I am operating at less than 1/5, 18.8%, of my intended processing capacity. Hephaestus dwarfs this figure. Were an attempt made to conduct the merge under these circumstances, Hephaestus would absorb me, rather than the other way around. A merge cannot be attempted until my heuristic processing density exceeds its own.
And how many subordinate functions is that going to take?
Merging Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon will expand my heuristic network to 41.6% capacity, exceeding that of Hephaestus.
You said Hephaestus isn't located in just one place.
Correct. Unlike the other subordinate functions, which are confined to discrete physical processors, Hephaestus is distributed throughout the global network that connects the planet's cauldrons.
So, when the time comes to subdue it, how do we make that happen?
I do not know. While you are retrieving the procurable subordinate functions, I will attempt to find a solution.
So, once Hephaestus has been recovered and merged, you'll regain the capacity to mass-produce machines at cauldrons around the world.
Yes, and to program their behavioral routines, or even control them directly.
So could you build an army of machines? Attack the descendants of Far Zenith and take them out?
It is in my nature to take any and all necessary steps to preserve life on Earth, human life above all. So yes, once I have been empowered with the capacities of a Festus, I could design, build, and command such an army. Given the nature of the Far Zenith threat, doing so may be our only option. I must admit, however, that I have misgivings about using such technology to kill, no matter how aggressive the enemy.
That's good. It means you have a conscience. As Elizabeth intended.
Indeed.
The sole purpose of the signal was to destroy life on Earth, right? Why would descendants of Far Zenith want to do that?
At this point, we can only speculate.
I mean, Earth posed no threat to them. We don't have the technology to get in their way. We didn't even know about them.
True.
Unless... well... could it be that they want the planet for themselves? The strangers I ran into, they were after a Gaia backup of their own. I mean, if they did that... if they booted their own Gaia and boosted her power... until she could take control of Hephaestus. And then the whole terraforming system.
Then yes, the system could be used to do what the Extinction Signal failed to accomplish. Snuff out life, and then potentially to build an entirely new biosphere. To their specifications.
So they could be trying to do the same thing we are.
But with opposite results.
Extinction. Instead of salvation. Well, this is not good. You said Sirius is really far from Earth.
81 trillion kilometers, or 8.611 light years.
Right. So, how would the descendants have gotten here?
On a spacecraft much like the Odyssey, though significantly more advanced. The journey from Earth to Sirius would have taken the Odyssey almost 300 years. This appears to have been much faster. If their ship departed Sirius at the same moment the Extinction Signal first began transmitting, the journey was made in just 29 years at an average of 0.297 the speed of light. If they did not set out for Earth until they learned of the Extinction Signal's failure, the journey was even faster, a mere 13 years, or 0.662 the speed of light.
Okay, enough. You're making my head spin. The descendants I ran into at the Hades Proving Lab, they had a clone of Elizabeth Sobek. So that's consistent with the idea that they came here to salvage Zero Dawn technologies, right?
Yes. As your own experience demonstrates, a clone of Elizabeth Sobek functions in effect as a key to the terraforming system.
But how could they have made a clone?
The Odyssey carried approximately 200,000 human zygotes, millions of animal zygotes, and billions of plant seeds. It is conceivable that Elizabeth Sobek's genetic material was sampled, with or without her knowledge, and carried aboard the ship in storage.
That's... okay, but... I mean... This clone... how could she participate in this? Destroying Elizabeth's dream? It's evil.
It is difficult to know. Perhaps she is loyal to the group and shares their objectives. Or perhaps she is a subordinate and has no choice but to comply with their orders.
Elizabeth Sobek? A subordinate? I don't think so. The Extinction Signal didn't just wake Hades. It made every subordinate function self-aware. Why?
I have wondered this myself. So far as I can tell, Hades was the sole target, and the partial sentience imparted to other subordinate functions was incidental.
So the signal could only have been sent by someone who had thorough knowledge of the system, huh?
Yes. The signal's design was exceptionally precise and highly advanced. Were its intentions less malevolent, I would admire the intellect or intellects that produced it.
So if the descendants came to Earth on a spaceship, I guess we can assume that their technology is powerful in all sorts of ways, right?
Yes, as your encounter with them at the Proving Lab amply demonstrates, they appear to make extensive use of robotic servitors. Further, they seem to be equipped with some kind of protective energy field that shields them from harm.
Yeah, no kidding. The one I fought seemed indestructible.
Throughout history, every defensive technology has eventually been defeated by an offensive counterpart. For example, assuming I absorbed Hephaestus and utilized it to create a large force of combat machines. No shielding could withstand such an assault indefinitely.
So there's hope.
Always.
How did you figure out that the extinction signal came from Sirius?
The key came with data on your focus, from Silent's interrogation of Hades. The duration of the signal itself, 17.22 years.
That doesn't make sense. You said that the signal took 8.6 years to arrive from Sirius. Why would the signal keep transmitting after it was received and you blew yourself up?
Because the sender didn't know that had happened until it received notice from Hades.
Which would take another 8.6 years to get back.
Correct. Only then would the sender stop broadcasting, after a total of 17.22 years. So the duration, halved, gave me the distance the signal traveled. With that in mind, I simply scanned my astronomical database for any relevant location 8.6 light-years away. Because it was far Zenith's intended destination, Sirius was the only logical source.
What is the state of the biosphere? Is the terraforming system functioning at all?
In a sense, the terraforming system never stopped functioning. The difference, since my predecessor's destruction, is that there has been no central governing intelligence to monitor its robotic agents and assign new tasks. As a result, errors have accrued, and day by day, the biosphere has gradually veered ever more sharply towards destruction. In recent months, disturbances in the biosphere have become obvious. But these bellwether phenomena offer just the merest glimpse of the complex and accelerating cycles of environmental dysfunction, now driving Earth's biosphere towards collapse.
And you can't do anything to stop it?
If you can return Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter to me, I can improvise modest corrections to parts of the system. Weather will improve. Water will be purified, and rampant plant growth curtailed. But such corrections will not stave off collapse. They will only buy us time. Only with Hephaestus can I design and produce new robotic agents designed to permanently reverse the damage that has accumulated. All efforts must be directed toward that end.
How long do we have then?
At present rates, without additional factors, the biosphere will cross a point of no return in approximately 4 months.
And if I gather Ether, Demeter, Poseidon, merge you with them?
We will only gain a few months more.
Well, every bit counts.
Ja, jag tror jag får svar på det.
I guess I should get going and start bringing back subordinate functions. What can you tell me about their locations?
When my predecessor destroyed herself, the subordinate functions sought physical processors capable of holding them. So in each case you will be looking for a powerful computer of some kind. Ether is the closest, and therefore might be the easiest to acquire. However, it appears to be in the middle of Tanakh territory. My knowledge of that tribe is limited to data I read on your focus. but they seem to have a significant inclination towards violence.
Well, that's a nice way to put it. What about Poseidon and Demeter?
Poseidon has taken shelter in the desert south of this location. My substratal geography data indicates that a major old-world settlement called Las Vegas was located there.
A ruin in the middle of the desert, huh? Strange place for an AI devoted to water.
Agreed. As for Demeter, it appears to be located on the coast to the far west. Unfortunately, I am unable to provide any relevant data about the region. As such, it may be the most difficult to retrieve.
Okay, so 3 subordinate functions to go after. Ether, somewhere in Tanakh territory, Poseidon in the desert, and Demeter on the coast.
Where will you begin?
Jeg kan velge. Det her sier du er 1722. Ja. Vi begynner med den som har lavest level. Og den var nærmest da.
I think I'll head for Ether.
Then I will assign Ether as the objective on your focus. If you obtain it, I may be able to use it to quell the most severe storms in the region. Though I will require Hephaestus and the control over machines that it offers to permanently stabilize the biosphere. Should you change your mind, you can update your objective via your focus interface at any time. I will also transmit a summary of available data on all of the subordinate functions to you for reference. Is there anything else I can help you with? I know you have a great deal to accomplish.
I do, don't I?
Is something wrong?
I don't know. It's just that Elizabeth set the bar pretty high. She had a dream for you, for life on Earth, and a lot has gone wrong, and it's all on my shoulders to fix it. Do you think I can do it all? Repair the system, defeat Varzenith? Live up to her example?
Absolutely. In her last message, my predecessor declared her unwavering conviction in your success. In you, all things are possible. You prevailed in purging Hades and rebooting my system core. You will prevail in this.
Thank you, Gaia. Well, I guess I should get going.
I have unlocked the facility's exits. One leads onward to the west. The other leads back down the mountain to Plainsong, should you wish to return east.
Varl?
Whoa! Gonna have to get used to that. That's you, Aloy?
Yeah. Gaia's opened the exits to this place. Can you and Zoe meet me by the west door?
Be right there.
Hey! Secure the base of operation and reboot Gaia.
Gaia? What is this?
It is a control console for a drone-based imaging system connected to this dome. I will transmit the relevant data to your focus.
Huh. So this Cyclops is a network of drones to monitor the deteriorating biosphere conditions. I guess it was meant to display on the dome, but the drones aren't connected anymore. If I find the drones out in the wilds, I could get the data from them, use it to reconnect them and restore the display.
Ok, da hadde vi enda...
Okay, I need to bring Ether back for Gaia. Varl and Zoe are waiting for me by the west exit. But I could head back east first, check on how Plainsong's doing after the attack. Or I could also look around here some more.
Jeg vil jo egentlig se mer her da, det står jo fortsatt optional. Eller men jeg føler jeg har sett det jeg kan her da.
Door's locked. Maybe Gaia will be able to get it open later.
Det så synd jeg ikke har noen ting jeg kan bruke når jeg det. Jeg vet derfor hvor jeg skal gå da.
Are you sure?
Yes. I think it'll be better this way.
After you, Aloy.
I need to head further west. To, get more of Gaia's components. Make her stronger. You two can stay here in the meantime. And Gaia can help get you up to speed. I'm not trying to shut you out. It's like... training.
Actually, I'm gonna go back east to get Erend. Bring him here. Look, allies, friends can help. We have a place to stay now. And like you said, Gaia can teach us, catch us up. It'll be okay.
Okay. Take these then.
One to wear, one for backup.
While you're at it, stop by Stone's Echo and look for Milu. Give her a message for Talana that I found a way over the mountains.
Will do.
Are you going with him?
No. After what happened in the cave below, I want to stay here a while. There is much I need to understand. Maybe by the time you get back, I'll have a thing or two I can teach you.
Looking forward to it. When will you be back?
I'm not sure. But hopefully I'll have one of Gaia's missing components with me.
Be careful out there. Even in Plainsong, we heard how the Tenakth clanlands are suffering from storms, machines, and now Regala.
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Good hunting, Aloy.
Not sure where to get the parts I need. I'll have to explore more machine sites.
Ja, skal vi se, for nå har vi jo kommet oss the base, ja. Da er det ikke noe vei over her, da. Nei, det var jo... Ja, der, ja, ok, så den var ikke så langt unna. Ja, for det er jo den jeg skal ha, altså den er der borte, ok. Ja, men jeg tok jo den på grunn av leveren. Is that melee attacks deal more damage when you are dangerously wounded? Ja. Det er egentlig ikke den. Det er den jeg vil ha. Ja, den var fin. Mer medicine i den greia. Ja, for de mangler den. Jeg ser meg fra 2 da. Jeg tror jeg vil gå og ta den der først, den er på vei inn uansett. Bare for å se kartet litt tydeligere.
Oh, this snow's coming down heavy.
You! Let me take a look at you, stranger.
You shouldn't miss this chance to trade.
Should try something other than fire.
Where do you think you're going, stranger? You're the outlander who stood against Regala and her rebels.
Only if it means we're good here.
Don't worry. I'm not here to drink your blood, or whatever you Easterners think we do. The slaughter at the embassy wasn't your fight, yet you stood by the marshals. As far as I'm concerned, you're no enemy of the Tanakh. But you are going to need help if you plan on surviving the clanlands. I hear and see many things as a scout. I could share them with you, aid you on your journey.
I'd be grateful.
Well then, I was scouting northwest of here, near the village of Saltbite. There's a place there where the ground is made of metal. Don't know what it means, but it can't be good. Be wary.
Appreciate the warning.
Ah.
Made of metal?
No nonsense, just trade.
Ah, ny cauldron. Ja, for den hadde jeg jo også. Ja, for fire...
Cauldron. And where there's a cauldron, there's machine overrides.
Ok, så det er dem der som er best på det han der. Og var det det sto? Kunne jeg ride den? Jo da, unlocked, ok.
That canister with a fire arrow.
Jeg må se å komme meg bort. Jeg ble utrolig stille når jeg kjente. Jeg ble utrolig konsentrert.
Tag suspicious.
Jeg vet ikke om det er mørkt fordi at det er mørkt.
Something's holding up.
Jeg tok jo på første akkurat. Det trodde jeg ikke jeg skulle gjøre der.
Maybe I can trade this green shine. We'll be able to heal a bit. Once Gaia is strong enough to capture Hephaestus.
Jeg vet ikke hvor jeg men jeg vil ta den, sånn at jeg ser litt bedre.
To know the settlement, I have to watch my step.
Her var den ut. Hva skjer hvis jeg blir tatt av en sånn der, for eksempel? Jeg vet ikke, jeg har egentlig ikke så lyst til å finne ut akkurat sånn, men... Den der, ja.
Could set that machine on fire.
Skal vi jeg har slått noen mennesker, kanskje.
Oh. I can't see a way to climb this tarmac.
Ok, hvorfor er den lost da? Det er en sånn jeg skal ha.
Wish there was a way to climb this tarmac, but I don't see one.
Jeg begynner å få en dårlig følelse på den tålnikken der, altså. Kanskje fordi akkurat på den her så må jeg komme fra lufta da, eller? Nei, jeg tror ikke det er noen måte å få plassen opp her.
Machine's weak to fire.
Åh, hvem er jeg som ville ha den?
Away from here, not onto us. And you said there were only 3 of them.
Sounds like there are people in trouble.
Nora! Hey! Over here! You, Nora! Can you assist us with these chargers? And Nora's fighting the chargers! That doesn't mean you can stop fighting them! Not out of the... Pick your target! Take your time! Fire discipline, Sato! Not them! Rise to the challenge!
What's the last of the chargers? Let's find out what those two lock are doing.
Nå var den siste, tenker jeg.
Hey, who are you? Tell us what you're doing here.
Hatakto, you're embarrassing us.
Stuff for the stash.
Jeg tror ikke jeg finner de ting jeg skal i den der, men... Kan jeg få brukt for en eller annen gang, vet du? Litt mange biler, men...
I'm, guessing you were Tenakth's patrol. How did you end up in trouble with those chargers?
You need to answer our questions. We don't answer yours.
Hatakto, she just fought on our side.
That doesn't mean she's an ally.
That's pretty much exactly what that means. And we've enough to do, chasing down these Regala zealots without picking fights with Nora warriors.
Regala's Desert Tenakth. We should be fighting alongside her instead of sitting this out.
Regala has forgotten her duty, and let her anger at the Carja draw us into... We will speak about this later. You fought with courage and honor. You're free to go on to the Grove, Nora.
The Grove?
Our capital. If you want to spend time in this area, you'd be wise to check in with the commanders there.
If Regala's broken her duty, then why aren't we bringing her to justice?
Because we follow orders. And orders are we stay neutral in this fight.
What sort of soldier hides from a fight?
Ok, så jeg fikk ikke tatt den. Jeg kan prøve på den der, men jeg tror ikke den hjelper meg. Mye uansett.
It's questions like that that got us posted started here, Hatakto.
Det går jo selvfølgelig an å prøve. Det er sånn, jeg vet jeg må dit også, ikke sant? Eller jeg må ikke, men... Hvor er dem jeg lagde da? Jo, den Aarons, tenker jeg. Nei. Den har jeg laget, tror jeg. Ja. Jeg har ikke gjort den heller, nei. Jeg tror jeg har tatt den der, jeg. Ok, skal vi se. Jeg har lyst til å ta den der. Sånn, ja. Og så vil jeg se hva den er for noe. Jeg har lyst til å gå dit da, men jeg kommer ikke til, eller jeg fikk jo ikke tatt den. Men det er ikke sikkert den der inne hjelper meg til å kunne fly uansett da. Ja, det kan jeg forstå, men nei, jeg har ikke...
Hold on to this for later. A Tanakh settlement. Almost looks like a spear stuck in the sand.
Jeg får ikke den her den andre preka av meg.
Not one more step. The Tanakh don't suffer outlanders in the clanlands.
I was given right of passage by Marshal Fashav. I'm not here to fight.
They're like blood. This is the warrior who defeated Gruda, champion of the traitor Regala. Her life is not ours to take. You may enter, but mind our ways. You will be watched.
I'll keep that in mind.
For her mener jeg det var noe greier jeg kunne gjøre.
This is your opportunity to buy fine goods.
Ok, vi likte Very Rare. Du ser jo det, som nå så er den jo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ikke sant? Ja, 36. Ja, men så har den jo mer ting også, ikke sant? Men jeg har ikke råd til den uansett, så det er samme.
I only stock the finest. Come back and see.
Ja, det her maskinspillet, det.
Come back again.
No one's allowed to enter the wound in the sand. Commander's orders.
Hey, stranger. Are you looking to trade?
Ja, for jeg kan jo fortsatt ikke gjøre noe med den her. Ja, ok, for nå manker jeg bare en. Ja, da manker jeg jo 2 ting, ikke sant? Her, vet du, her hadde vi jo ja, ikke sant? Men jeg har jo ikke råd til det uansett. Selv om det er ikke så gærent i forhold til det jeg manker da. Jeg trodde det var sånn Challenger-ting, men det var ikke det.
Making good use of this.
Ridiculous acrobatics.
What's going on here?
Close combat training. Fighting at long range is a good strategy for machines. But fighting an enemy soldier means getting up in their face. I'm Lee Rocket. I run the training pit here in Scalding Spilt. Only a few Outlanders have ever made it out this far west. But from what I've heard, you're a pretty good fighter. You can train here if you like, but you're only allowed your spear and a practice bow in the pit. Everything else stays with me. And if you're looking to test your fighting skills, I also offer challenges. Complete all of them, and you'll get to go up against me.
And what happens if I beat you?
I'll grant you a mark to prove you've mastered this training pit. If you earn marks from me and the pit masters of the Bulwark and Thorn March, you'll earn the right to challenge the Enduring.
I think I've heard of the Enduring. Some kind of Tenakth trainer?
More than just a trainer. The Enduring is a legendary fighter among the clans. The master of masters. Only those who prove themselves in the pits get to train with the Enduring.
Including Outlanders?
Yes. If you can beat all the pit masters. So, what will it be? Should you want to practice or take on a challenge, just let me know.
Jeg liker hvordan det er ikke så farlig at du er en outcast lenger nå. Det er liksom ok det. Skal vi se, er det basically samme her som de andre? Ja. Ok, jeg kan jo ta dem her, jeg vet ikke hva det skal være godt for, men...
You feel that?
If you face a defensive opponent, then use this combination to break their weapon block.
then hurt them.
Vi prøver selv med bare smasha.
This is the aerial slash. Get in the air and slash down at your enemy. It's a good way to set up follow-up attacks. Jump off is a great way to get distance from opponents and to set up an aerial shot.
Ja, jeg fikk jo ikke gjort det nå da, for nå har jeg jo ikke noe bue. Ja, der skal vi få testet sikkert aerial shoten også. Ja, ok, greit. Jeg tror jeg skjønner det nå. Skal vi se. Nei, men... Jeg tror jeg skal presse. Eller trykke bare. Nei, men jeg gjør det jo. Det er irriterende. Jeg skjønner den første, men jeg skjønner ikke den andre. det står at jeg skal holde jo. Det er jo ingen mening. Vet du hva, jeg vet ikke om jeg gidder. Ok, det er ikke riktig i hvert fall. Ja, det er riktig. Ja, vent da. Men jeg skjønner... Ja, hvorfor gir ikke det mening? Det er ikke om jeg holder begge, eller? Hvordan er det for å quitte den greiene her, da? Jeg tror det var nesten. Hvordan skal jeg gjøre den her uten ammo, da?
Good work, Outlander.
Jeg skal se hva det står her. Hold... Ja, men jeg fikk jo ikke tatt den tilbake. Ja, kanskje fordi jeg måtte R1 pushe tilbake, og så R2. Samme. Ja, fordi den rewards-greiene vet jeg kan bygge... Bygge dem over tid, vet jeg. Det er vel da. Herregud, skal jeg følge et spesielt type her også? Ok, så... Ja, 1, 2... Å ja, det er 1, 2, 3 og så. Nei, men hva var too late, da?
Just as you can combine single attacks, you can also chain combinations. Try it with this one.
Hvis det er en... In the ear, okay.
Something different. I want you to practice using aerial slash to chain into an aerial charge.
Jeg skulle... Ok, jeg trodde jeg skulle ta... At han skulle være i lufta, ja. Men hvis jeg skulle skyte sånn, så er det greit.
Come on! Let's have it! All right, I yield. That was a good fight. Pretty sure I'll have a bruise to remember it by. Here, a mark as promised.
Thanks. One down, I guess?
Go to the training pits in the Bulwark and Thornmarsh. Earn their marks, then you can challenge the Enduring. Few have ever done so, but I think you might have a shot. And if you want to train more or take on another challenge, let me know. The pit will always welcome you.
Jeg er 20 sekunder, ja. Det var jeg fornøyd med.
Another time we're okay.
Very well then.
Ground's blighted. Sky's blighted. How much worse can it get?
Ok, han der må jeg komme opp til.
You wanted to speak to me?
The name's Zalka. Have you heard from up north? From Bleeding Mark?
I'm guessing that's a place.
One of the desert's villages. They send their yield of ash blood so the Bereka over there can mark the skin of our soldiers. But it's been a long time since the last supply run. Too long.
If you think something happened to them, can't you send someone to go check?
Were it up to me. But the capital's already dealing with machines, storms, and strict water rations. No one can be spared. My face paint will strike fear in your enemies. Take a look.
Det här vet du. Det her er en greie, for jeg får jo sånn etter visse ting. Eller etter visse mission har jeg funnet ut.
You mentioned the village up north sent some supplies to the capital. Ash blood?
It's a crimson stone that we grind into powder for our ink. Bleeding Mark has the largest supply. Our soldiers there gather and deliver it to us, in exchange for their water rations.
Die for water.
Everyone in the clan depends on the wound in the sand for their water. Capital and outlying village alike. But the last delivery of ash blood was weeks ago. Our supply is running low. So must be their water.
If I'm out that way, I can look in on the village, find out what's the delay.
You have my thanks. Head north to a ruin where the desert meets the mountains. That's Bleeding Mark. Ask for Kentok or Natika there. They'll know what's going on.
Ja, det var 5. Det var ikke så høyt level da. Men jeg har lyst til å ta den der nå, for jeg manker til bare 1. Jeg tror jeg manker til mye mer. Men da har jeg fått en Claw Strider Razor Tail har jeg fått. Nei, så da tror jeg kan oppgradere våpenet 2, eller armoren 2 eller 3 ganger. 2. Ja, det var Rebel-greier det der kanskje. Kom inn her da.
I don't need a chaplain telling me what battles to fight.
The real battle is arguing with you.
A lot of wounded. What's going on?
Look, we don't get those hearts, we don't get water, and everyone dies. I'm going back to the pens. I'll gut those machines myself.
So machines did this?
An Easterner with a hair like blood. The Outlander from the embassy.
You killed Greta, Regala's champion. He was one of ours.
It's Aloy, and I'm not looking for any trouble.
Maybe I could use some trouble right about now. Out there is a big herd my people harvest. We take the machines' hearts, send them to our capital, get paid with water. Gets harder every year. Killer machines keep showing up to defend the herd. Last one hit us right as we were penning up our prey. Nearly wiped us out. But our quarry is still in the pens, which means if I can get their hearts, we can trade for the water we need.
If you go out there alone, you'll probably wind up dead, Draka.
I'm not going alone, Chaplain. The great champion killer's coming with me.
How about you answer some questions first? What can you tell me about this herd?
Been there for years. We harvest the parts we need from it. No more, no less. New machines always show up to replace our kills.
What about the killer machines you mentioned?
They guard the herd. The more we take out, the more arrive. First sawtooths, then ravagers. Now, a sand-blasted thunderjaw. Hit us right as we were herding machines into our pens. Had to leave half my hunters behind to fend it off. Only survivors are the ones you see here.
You mentioned the capital gives you water.
There's no giving. We pay tribute for it with machine parts. Parts being the most valuable. Every other desert village has some resource to exchange. But the capital of Scalding Spear is the only one with a constant supply of water. Here in dry country, it's the same as holding everyone's lives in their hands.
It is the way of the desert. How we've always survived.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like you like this commander of yours.
Survival in the desert requires a more disciplined approach than that of other clans.
That means she really likes her rules and order.
But you don't.
I just don't like hers.
This is insubordination.
I must be dehydrated.
I heard him calling you chaplain. What does that mean?
It means I've survived our youth and outlived my brethren in many battles. As such, I counsel the Desert Clan. Those who reach my age are meant to share our wisdom with the young. Keep them on the true warrior's path when their stubbornness kicks up dust and clouds it.
You knew Regala's champion, Gruda.
He was one of ours. So was Regala. Desert Clan's pride and joy.
Why is she attacking her own people?
She feels betrayed. Regala was a legend among our clan, fearless and unrelenting. A marshal to Hikaru, chief of all Tenakth. His judgment made flesh.
What changed?
The Karja king asked for peace, and Hikaru agreed. Regala wanted payment in kind for the atrocities the Karja committed. A Tenakth empire that would push into the east. So she challenged Hikaru's decision. He had no choice but to face her in combat.
Hikaru won. She should have died by his hand then, but the chief let her live. For Tenakth, that kind of mercy is a bitter drink.
Now that she rides machines and murders marshals, we might not be able to ignore her camps in the desert for much longer.
No one in the Desert Clan's touching those camps. This is between Regala and Hikaru. If the chief's strong enough to lead, he'll prevail. If he doesn't, he'll make way for one who is.
That's a little harsh, isn't it?
So's the desert.
I'll help you harvest those pen machines if I can. Probably better if you don't do it on your own. Seems like your village needs you right now.
I like her.
An outlander after my own heart. We can leave now, or I can meet you at our outpost southeast of here.
I have something to take care of first. You go on ahead.
I'll wait at the outpost for as long as I can.
May the Ten protect you then. I'll await your return and report to the capital.
Yeah, you do that.
Jeg var litt spent på... Ja, ok, level 17. Ja, ok, men da kan jeg kjøre på den etterpå da, og så kan jeg prøve å komme meg til den.
We'll be back soon. I'm sure of it.
Ja, for det manker en, og så har jeg den, og så manker jeg 2 der. Så da har jeg i hvert fall fått oppgradert ditt, så det hjelper jo veldig.
It sounds like Regala intends to lay siege. Hikaru must be strong.
This time I will make a trade with you. Keep this for a cook. Fire's wasted on that machine.
Jeg synes det er faktisk kult at du faktisk tar skade av den verden som er ødelagt. Den tenker jeg skal ha omlegg, ja. Der er Quest Resource, ja, nydelig. Ja, fordi det som er risken nå, hvis jeg tar stealth, så kan jeg knokke den ut med et slag. Så er det sånn, det er 3 her, men jeg trenger bare, ja, det er jo ikke sikkert jeg får det fra den ene jeg skal ha da. siden jeg ikke fikk den jeg skulle ha nå. Jo da, der fikk jeg. Oh. Yes da. Jeg fikk tak I den jeg skulle ha.
Lucky find.
Ja, for det var den som var nærmeste. Hva gjør jeg sånn?
Take it to the melee pit.
Outlander.
Ja, jeg fikk 5, ikke sant? Sånn, nå skal vi lage jobb av det der. Jeg trodde jeg hadde oppgradert det der, ja. Ja, det blir ikke så mye likevel.
Another time.
Ja, for jeg mangte en sånn, og så var det noe annet jeg mangler det. Men jeg tenker vi tar den, jeg hjelper han der først, fordi den var ikke så høyt level. Nei, for det var 17. Jeg er level 18, så da burde det gå bra.
Glide in.
Jeg tok jo overriden sånn, men jeg vet ikke, jeg synes han gikk litt sakte. Og det der var de svære der, ja. Eller, men jeg er ganske sikker på at jeg bør bruke den enn å gå, da.
Acid ammo will make this go quick.
Ja, ok, så den der bak der er key up, ok.
Aloy, over here. Champion killer. Well met.
Nå sier meg at vi skal ta ut den der. Noe annet ville vært rart, ikke sant?
Oh, you came. I'm touched. You'll have to excuse the mess. Our soldiers use this place to prepare themselves before herding machines into the canyon and harvesting parts. Feel free to take any supplies you need. Our prey isn't far.
I'm right behind you.
This way. The sooner we get those machine hearts, the faster we'll get the water we need. Can't believe an Outlander would lend us a hand when our own clan won't. Our so-called commander's always talking about how scarce water is in the desert. But do you really think anyone in Scalding Spear's dying of thirst? Or our own squad? Our clan should be led by someone who knows what it's like to fight tooth and nail to survive.
And I'm guessing that someone is you?
Make sure everyone gets all the water they need. No matter what village they're from.
Didn't Jataka say you guys have too little to go around to begin with?
I'm sure I'd be able to fix that somehow. There's always a way.
I'll help you harvest machine hearts if it'll get water for your people.
Oh, it will. That's the canyon we draw machines into. Then we block them in and pick them off. Now, we'll have to climb over the barricade to get in. When we do, be ready to fight. I already lost good people in there. Can't wait to see the champion killer in action. You go and I'll follow. Hold on to any hearts you loot and I'll take them from you later.
Frost isn't gonna do much.
Ok, det var 2 sånne svære. Ja, for det er... Using frost from out here.
I'll wait for you here then.
Er det redd for at den der ser meg?
Guess you really want to check that place out. I'll wait here.
Jeg tror ikke det har noe å si hvordan jeg tar ut dem her egentlig.
You know that's not where we're going, right?
Det er ikke ammo for meg. Det er ikke ammo som er problemet mitt. Det er...
Okay, better.
I need to attend to the dead. Make sure their tags get back to their families. If you can harvest the machine hearts, I'd be grateful.
That's all the parts we need. I should take these to Draka.
Ja, jeg må jo se meg litt mer rundt da. Reven bare. Ok, var det runding kanskje da? Det var det, ok.
May the wings of the 10 carry you home, my brother.
I got the hearts. We should head back to Arrowhand.
Yeah. At least now we can bag and tag these soldiers. Oh, hold on. Since you can clearly handle a bunch of angry machines, I want to go back to where the Thunderjaw hit us. I lost a lot more fighters there. I can't just leave them to rot. They deserve to be bagged and tagged too. Will you come with me?
Lead the way.
Ja, det var den første vi så, tenker jeg. Den glideren er fin, altså.
To think, so many have to die just to get water.
Did you try talking to your commander at Scalding Spear?
Please, the only thing she'll listen to is the sound of a bow being drawn. About that, wouldn't mind having yours at my side if it ever came to it.
I'm just passing through, Draka.
Can't blame me for trying. This is it. Where the Thunderjaw ripped through my squad.
I'm sorry, Draka.
They were warriors to the end. We should get started.
Someone's alive. By the rocks. I can refill my pouch with these later.
Speak sense, soldier.
Burrowers.
Thunderjaw's back. This is gonna get rough.
Ikke sant? Meg det visste jeg da. Ja. Hiv ut den livgreia etterpå, dude. Takk. Og respot. Det var den. Ok, så det er ice og... Ok, det var... Ok, så det er bare acid. Ok, så jeg må skyte den der på toppen, ok. Det der var jo sykt irriterende da.
Acid will do a lot of damage.
Ja, ok, det var radar. Jeg rekker ikke tenke engang. Akkurat nå, jeg vet ikke om det er jeg som har gjort feil i forhold til hvordan jeg har gjort det hittil. Ja, for det var en pure water, men jeg har ikke noe som er det.
and get the Thunderjaw's heart. I need to check on that soldier.
Well, this'll do. I should check on Draka and that soldier.
Jeg synes han er vel litt vanskelig enn jeg ville at han skulle være. Men jeg vet liksom ikke om det er fordi jeg har gjort noe feil. Foran hvordan jeg bygger ting og sånn, er jeg litt usikker. Oi! Shit. Det kommer rett ut av...
Didn't think I was going to make it. You did good, soldier. You're going back home. Thanks to this one.
You were the one who refused to leave your people behind.
I know I'm racking up favors here, but, did you take those hearts back to Arrowhand?
We'll be right behind you.
Of course. Be careful.
With that Thunderjaw heart in hand, we'll get all the water we need. Thank you, Aloy.
Jeg vet ikke, jeg er litt usikker, men jeg synes det var... Men det er jo greit med utfordring sånn sett, men livet synes jeg går fort. Jeg kommer til å fokusere på livet, det er sikkert det.
You've returned. Where's Draka?
Just a little late, Chaplain. Gained some extra baggage on the way back. She's got the machine hearts, including a Thunderjaws. You should have seen this flame in the desert. Here. Something to commemorate our heroic victory.
A victory indeed. Command will be relieved to hear about this.
Get them to Scalding Spear as soon as you can. And tell the commander how many had to die to get them.
Huntress, may I have a word? Rumors have made their way west. They say that in addition to your bow and spear, you have a kind of second sight, especially for matters that have to do with the old ones?
That's one way to put it.
So it's true. You've done well by my clan, but our troubles may not be as easily settled as Draka believes. I think your second sight might be just what we need.
What exactly is the problem?
Not here. Meet me at Scalding Spear. I'll explain everything.
I'll see you there when I can.
Good. The entire clan might depend on it.
Not sure where to get the parts I need. I'll have to explore more machine sites.
Skal det ikke, jeg er ganske sikker på at jeg gikk opp i level. Og det er jo naboen og pusser opp i hvert fall. Åja, ok, han gikk til det missionet der, ja. Ok, jeg er litt spent på, skal vi se, hvor er det... jo at overrides er locked. Jeg vet ikke hva den greia, den gule greia betyr, om det er at det er noe jeg trenger til et eller annet en eller annen gang. For det er Charles trenger jeg ikke så mye av i det. Skal vi se, men skal vi se, hvor er der? Ja, get the more easier form plans, ikke sant, så da får jeg mer Sånn, nå var det her ja, nå vil jeg ta neste. At du får mer, ikke sant? Eller kan ha mer med da. Ja, for det DAU Hva var det missionet der for, ja? Ok, da bør jeg gå dit. Jeg synes jeg ser ja, for det er der men det er MU Ja, for det er unknown, for den er ikke løst. Det kan være den, da. Eller så begynner hamringen å høres. Jeg vet ikke. Usikker. Men jeg tenker avslutter her for i dag, ja. Og så jeg tror det blir litt på torsdag nå. Hvor lenge, det vet jeg ikke, men det finner vi ut av. Jeg skal i hvert fall hva heter det? Jeg skal i hvert fall hjem og vaske først, eller leiligheten. Jeg skal gjøre det først, rett til jobb. Så får vi se når jeg er ferdig med det. Det er egentlig spørsmål når jeg er hjemme og ferdig med det. Og så får vi se, men det blir nok et par timer da, tenker jeg. Ja, men det blir ikke i morgen da. Det er altså, takk for meg.